Here's something that drives me crazy. Every spring, millions of Americans walk into the garden center and buy bottles of chemical pesticides that kill everything, the bad bugs, the good bugs, the soil life, all of it. And then by midsummer, the pests are back worse than before because the chemicals wiped out the very predators that were keeping them in check. It is a cycle that never ends, and it costs a fortune. But you know who never gets on that treadmill? The Amish. For over 300 years, Amish families have been growing some of the cleanest, most abundant vegetable gardens in America without ever touching a chemical. And after spending 3 decades growing my own food and learning from Amish growers in Lancaster County and Holmes County, Ohio, I can tell you their methods are not just old-fashioned, they are flat out smarter. Today I'm sharing 10 Amish secrets that get rid of garden pests for good. Number 8 is the one most people have never heard of, and it might be the simplest trick on this entire list. Plus, stay until the end for a bonus tip that sets your garden up for a pest-free season before you even plant a single seed. Now, the first thing to understand about the Amish approach is that they do not try to eliminate insects. They manage them. An Amish farmer once told me, a garden without any bugs is a dead garden. Their whole philosophy is about creating balance, a system where the beneficial creatures outnumber the harmful ones, so nature does most of the work for you. Every trick on this list flows from that one idea. The first secret is the foundation of Amish pest management, and that is strategic companion planting. Every Amish kitchen garden I visited has marigolds woven through the vegetable rows like gold thread. French marigolds release a compound from their roots called alpha-terphenol that kills root knot nematodes in the soil, and their pungent scent confuses aphids, whiteflies, and beetles above ground. But the Amish go far beyond marigolds. They plant basil right next to their tomatoes to repel hornworms. They tuck chives around their lettuce beds to keep aphids away. They grow dill near their brassicas because it attracts parasitic wasps that devour cabbage caterpillars. And they scatter nasturtiums throughout the garden as a trap crop because aphids prefer nasturtiums over vegetables, so the bugs go there instead and leave your food alone. The rule of thumb is simple. Plant your companions within 6 to 12 inches of the crop they are protecting and mix flowers throughout the entire garden, not just around the edges. You are not decorating. You are building a living, breathing defense system that works all season without a single spray. Secret number 2 takes companion planting one step further. Instead of just repelling pests, the Amish actively recruit an army of beneficial insects to hunt them down. A single ladybug eats up to 5,000 aphids in its lifetime. Lacewings eat mites, thrips, and small caterpillars. Parasitic wasps lay their eggs inside hornworms and destroy them from the inside. The Amish attract these allies by planting clusters of small flowered plants like yarrow, fennel, sweet alyssum, and Queen Anne's lace throughout the garden. These flowers provide the nectar beneficial insects need to survive and reproduce. The secret is to leave some of those plants standing even when they bolt and look messy. An Amish friend of mine calls his bolted dill plants bug hotels. He says the messier they look, the harder they work. Number 3 is a trick so simple it almost sounds too obvious, but skipping it is the single biggest mistake home gardeners make. It is crop rotation. When you plant tomatoes in the same spot year after year, the pests that target tomatoes, hornworms, flea beetles, blight spores, they all build up in that soil and wait. Come spring, they wake up to an all-you-can-eat buffet right where they left off. The Amish never let that happen. They group plants into families. Nightshades in one group, squash and cucumbers in another, brassicas in a third, legumes in a fourth, and they rotate each family to a different bed every season. Now, what I'm showing you today is just one piece of a much bigger picture. The Amish don't do anything in isolation. Every technique connects to a whole system, and that system is what makes the difference between a garden that struggles and a garden that practically takes care of itself. I spent years learning how it all fits together, and I've put everything into a step-by-step guide called the 30-Day Amish Pest-Proof Garden Protocol. It's got the complete 5 defense layers, the companion planting charts, the 4-bed crop rotation, All of it laid out day by day, so you're never guessing what to do next. If you want to go deeper than what we can cover in one video, there are 2 easy ways to get it. You can click the link right down there in the description below this video, or if you're watching this on your TV or your computer, just grab your phone, open up the camera, and point it at the QR code on screen right now. It'll take you straight to the guide. No searching, no typing anything in. All right, let's keep going. Secret number 4 is the oldest trick in the book, and the Amish will tell you it is still the best. Hand picking. Every morning before the day gets hot, Amish gardeners walk their rows. They flip leaves, check stems, and when they find a hornworm, a potato beetle, or a cluster of squash bug eggs, they pick them off and drop them in a bucket of soapy water. It takes about 10 minutes. And it catches problems when there are 3 bugs instead of 300. Amish children learn to do this from the time they can walk. By midsummer, those kids can spot a camouflaged hornworm from 5 feet away, which is saying something because those caterpillars blend in perfectly with a green tomato stem. Here is a visual cue that will help you when you see dark droppings that look like tiny black pellets on the leaves or the ground below. Look directly above them. The hornworm is almost always right there. If hand picking sounds simple, that is because it is. But nothing is more targeted, more immediate, or more effective, and it has never cost anyone a dime. Number 5 is the Amish go-to when pests start to get ahead of hand picking: neem oil. Pressed from the seeds of the neem tree, this natural oil disrupts the feeding and breeding cycles of over 200 species of leaf-eating insects, including aphids, caterpillars, whiteflies, mealybugs, and Japanese beetles. Unlike chemical sprays, neem leaves beneficial insects like bees and ladybugs unharmed because they are not eating the treated foliage. Mix 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed neem oil with a gallon of water and a few drops of liquid soap to emulsify it. Spray in the evening, never in direct sunlight. Apply every 7 to 10 days during peak pest season. It also doubles as a mild fungicide against powdery mildew. 1 small bottle lasts most gardeners the entire summer. Secret number 6 looks like harmless white powder, but to a slug or beetle, it is a field of microscopic razor blades. Diatomaceous earth is made from the fossilized remains of tiny aquatic organisms called diatoms. When soft-bodied insects crawl through it, the sharp edges slice through their waxy outer coating and they dehydrate. It is a mechanical kill, not a chemical one, so pests can never build resistance. The Amish dust food grade diatomaceous earth around the base of vulnerable plants and along garden bed edges. Apply it on dry soil because moisture makes it useless, and reapply after rain. Always use food grade, never pool grade, and wear a mask when applying to protect your lungs. Once it is down, it works silently around the clock. Number 7 is the Amish homemade bug spray, and you can make it from things already sitting in your kitchen. Blend a full head of garlic and a handful of hot cayenne peppers with a quart of water. Let it steep overnight. Strain through cheesecloth, add a few drops of liquid soap, and you have a powerful repellent that costs almost nothing. The garlic smell drives away aphids, beetles, and even rabbits. The capsaicin irritates soft-bodied insects on contact. Spray both sides of your leaves every 5 to 7 days or after heavy rain. It does not harm your plants, and it does not harm pollinators. Just do yourself a favor and wash your hands after mixing. I learned that the hard way a long time ago. Now, number 8 is the one I mentioned in the opening, and most gardeners have never thought to try it: wood ash barriers. If you heat with a wood stove or have a fire pit, you are sitting on one of the best pest deterrents the Amish have ever used, and it is completely free. A thin ring of cooled wood ash sprinkled around the base of your plants creates a dry alkaline barrier that slugs, snails, and many crawling insects will not cross. The fine, gritty texture dehydrates their soft bodies on contact, much like diatomaceous earth, but without spending a penny. The Amish dust it around their cabbage, lettuce, strawberries, and hostas, basically anything slugs love. Just keep the ash at least 2 inches away from the plant stem to avoid burning it, and reapply after rain since moisture reduces its effectiveness. As a bonus, wood ash adds potassium and calcium to the soil two nutrients that tomatoes and peppers especially crave. One winter's worth of wood stove ash can protect an entire garden for a full growing season. I started using this trick 5 years ago after watching an Amish neighbor do it, and I have not bought a slug product since. Secret number 9 is the Amish equivalent of locking your front door. Physical barriers. They drape lightweight cheesecloth or fine insect mesh over their most vulnerable crops using simple hoops made from bent willow branches or scrap wire. Light and water pass right through, but cabbage moths, squash vine borers, and flea beetles cannot reach the plants to lay eggs. This is especially powerful for brassicas like broccoli, kale, and cauliflower, which are absolute magnets for caterpillars in zones 4 through 8. The Amish set up these covers right at transplanting time and leave them on until the plants start flowering, at which point you remove the covers so pollinators can do their work. For squash, you keep the covers on through June and early July when vine borers are most active, then remove them once the stems are thick and woody enough to resist damage. It costs almost nothing, a few dollars worth of fabric and some wire, and it eliminates the need for any spray at all on those crops. When you see perfect whole-free broccoli heads in an Amish garden, this is usually why. And number 10 is the most fun trick on this list, letting chickens and guinea fowl do the pest control for you. A small flock of 4 to 6 hens, given supervised access to the garden in early morning or late afternoon, will devour beetles, grubs, caterpillars, slugs, grasshoppers, and ticks with astonishing speed. Guinea fowl are even better because they eat Japanese beetles and ticks like candy and are less likely to scratch up your plants than chickens are. The Amish have integrated poultry into their gardens for as long as anyone can remember. The birds eat the pests, their droppings fertilize the soil, and you get fresh eggs every morning. It is a closed-loop system where everybody wins. The key is managed rotational access. Chickens will absolutely eat your ripe tomatoes and destroy young seedlings if left unsupervised. So the Amish let them into one section of the garden at a time, usually for an hour or two, then move them along. Some families build lightweight portable chicken runs they call tractors that they can slide from bed to bed. If you have the space for even a few hens, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Now here's the bonus I promised. The Amish secret to a pest-free season actually starts the fall before, and it is called winter cleanup. After the final harvest, they pull every spent plant, rake up all fallen debris, and turn the top few inches of soil with a garden fork. This exposes overwintering pest eggs and larvae to freezing temperatures, killing them before spring ever arrives. Then they spread a thick layer of aged manure over the beds, which smothers anything left near the surface. Some Amish families also plant a quick cover crop of winter rye in their empty beds, which suppresses weeds, prevents erosion, and creates habitat for ground beetles, one of nature's best slug and grub predators. When spring comes, they turn the rye under, and the beds are ready for planting. It takes one afternoon in November and saves you months of battling pests the following year. Pair this with everything else on today's list, and you are looking at the cleanest, most productive garden you have ever grown. Now, what I've shared with you today is a real piece of the puzzle, but it's still just one piece. If you're tired of fighting the same battles every season, if you want a garden that actually works with you instead of against you, then I'd really encourage you to check out the guide I put together. It's called the 30-Day Amish Pest-Proof Garden Protocol, and it's everything I've learned from my Amish neighbors over the last 3 decades, organized into a simple day-by-day plan you can start this season. It covers the full 5 defense layers to build a garden that defends itself from the soil up. It's got the complete 4-bed crop rotation system that stops disease and pests before they ever get a foothold, and it includes a companion planting field guide so you know exactly what to grow next to what and why. Now, there are 2 easy ways to grab it. The first way is to click the link in the description right below this video. Just scroll down a little and you'll see it. The second way, if you're watching on a television or a computer screen, is to take out your phone, open up your camera like you're going to take a picture, and hold it up to the QR code you see on screen right now. A little link will pop up at the top of your phone screen. Just tap that, and it'll bring you right to the guide. No typing, no searching. Either way works. I think it's the best investment you can make in your garden this year.